Good evening, I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. The president is in political hot water following the release of a recording showing that he pressured Georgia election officials to change vote tallies. The Washington Post obtained the recording and released it over the weekend. During the phone conversation that took place last Saturday, the president urges Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, to find close to 12,000 votes that could overturn the results of the 2020 election.
You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense, and you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can. Both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
The president continues to falsely claim that he won the 2020 election. As Trump supporters plan to descend on the nation's capital on Wednesday, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser wants residents to avoid downtown Washington. Bowser, along with other regional leaders, is asking people not to engage in counter-protest demonstrations. According to reports, the pro-Trump group Women for America First has been approved for a permit to hold a rally at the White House Ellipse. The organization is one of several groups expected in D.C. this week to support the president. The demonstrations coincide with the congressional meeting on Wednesday to officially certify the Electoral College votes. Many businesses in the district have begun to board up in anticipation of possible violence. Congressional Republicans are lining up to challenge President-elect Joe Biden's victory at Wednesday's joint session of Congress. A dozen senators and a number of House Republicans plan to challenge the election results in as many as 6 states. Some members of the GOP have pushed back the plan, including Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, who issued a statement saying in part, quote, "The scheme by members of Congress to reject the certification of the presidential election makes a mockery of our system and who we are as Americans." The governor also said that the president has had every opportunity to provide evidence to support his claims, but has failed to do so. In other news tonight, a fire breaks out at a townhouse in College Park this morning. Little damage is visible, but 4 people, 2 adults and 2 children, have been displaced. Firefighters responded to the blaze in the 4700 block of Navajo Street about 8:22 a.m. When crews arrived, they found smoke coming from the first floor kitchen area. No injuries were reported. Meantime, authorities are still investigating what caused a fatal New Year's Day fire in Beltsville. The victim has been identified as 42-year-old Mirna Reynosa. The blaze displaced 10 people and caused $345,000 in damage. And here are the latest Maryland COVID-19 numbers. More than 2,400 people have been diagnosed with the coronavirus over the past 24 hours. There have been 33 deaths over the same period. The state's positivity rate stands at 9.47%. Prince George's continues to lead the state with more than 56,000 cases since the start of the pandemic. Montgomery County has the state's second highest number with more than 48,000 cases. Over the last 4 years, Maryland has been party to more than 80 lawsuits against the Trump administration policies. Now, with the incoming Biden administration, Maryland Attorney General Brian Frosh says that he's hopeful that many pending issues will be deemed null and void.
I am hoping and expecting that things will change. President-elect Biden has the ability to change a lot of these policies very quickly. Trump failed to follow the rules in most of the situations in which they purported to change the rules. There's an Administrative Procedures Act. They often didn't follow it. So the Biden administration can change some stuff very quickly. Other things that have been put into place it will take them time to promulgate and put in place new rules.
And President-elect Joe Biden will be sworn in on Wednesday, January 20th. You're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. The Washington football team is going to the playoffs. We'll have that update after the break.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say she really doesn't have much of a life, but to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
The family of U.S. Representative Jamie Raskin creates a memorial fund in honor of their son who died on New Year's Eve. Money from the Tommy Raskin Memorial Fund for People and Animals will be distributed on a semi-annual basis to causes and charities championed by the 25-year-old, such as the Helen Keller Institute and Animal Outlook. Meantime, the family will hold a private funeral service Tuesday morning and will schedule a virtual public memorial service later this month. No information has been released yet on the cause of his death. Governor Larry Hogan announces a new special enrollment period for all uninsured Marylanders who need health coverage now due to the ongoing pandemic. The enrollment period runs through March 15th. Coverage through Maryland Health Connection covers costs for coronavirus tests at doctors' offices, urgent care centers, and emergency rooms. Nearly 107,000 residents enrolled in 2020 health care coverage through the last special enrollment. Again, you can apply now through March 15th at marylandhealthconnection.gov. Have you thought about homeschooling your kids, running into roadblocks while your little ones are learning virtually from home right now? CTV's Keisha Butts has the details on a new book that might help you.
Author Carolyn Tatum has a new book called Homeschooling from A to Z. This guide gives parents a glimpse into teaching their kids outside of the traditional classrooms. Tatum says she homeschooled her kids for about 7 years.
They put the challenge to me, Mom, why don't you homeschool us? Like, you're a teacher. Why don't you teach us? And they gave me the challenge. And my thought was, I love the classroom. I love working with students. So I just wasn't even thinking in terms of working with just my kids at home. But the opportunity presented itself, and we said we would just try it and see how it works. If it doesn't work, you will go back to regular school.
America prides themselves with democracy. Tatum also has advice for parents as most classrooms are closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. She says you should have a designated space to do your schoolwork, check on your kids, have a schedule, and discuss what they learn every day.
What did you learn today? Tell me something about your school day, and, what are some of your vocabulary words? It depends on the age of your child, but you want to try to have that dialogue, a conversation where your child knows mom or dad is going to ask me something about what I learned for today.
Tatum also says homeschooling her kids allowed her to teach them valuable skills not taught in schools, such as banking. For more information, visit carolyntatum.com. This is Keisha Butts with CTV News.
Author Carolyn Tatum is a Prince George's resident. A Greenbelt police officer remains in critical condition after being struck by a vehicle at the scene of a traffic crash. The initial incident occurred Saturday night just after 10 o'clock at Edmonston Road north of Cherrywood Lane. Investigators say a vehicle left the road and rammed into a tree. The Greenbelt officers stopped at the scene to assist when the second accident happened. The injured female officer was airlifted to a local hospital. The driver of the second vehicle did remain at the scene. A Prince George's County police officer is dragged by a car during an attempted traffic stop. The incident happened Saturday night at Central Avenue and Cindy Lane in the Seat Pleasant area. The officer was treated and released from a local hospital with minor injuries. One person was taken into custody. Standard video toll rates have resumed at all Maryland Transportation Authority toll facilities. The rates had been adjusted down to the cash rate due to the pandemic. In March, the agency temporarily stopped sending notices of tolls due and extended expiration dates of Easy Pass discount plans. But as of January 1st, higher video toll rates apply for any trips not paid with a valid Easy Pass account. Easy Pass users get the lowest toll rates in Maryland. Transponders are free and there is no monthly fee. It was a must-win situation for the Washington football team, and win they did. Washington beat the Philadelphia Eagles last night 20-14. It wasn't pretty, but the win puts the team in the playoffs. With the victory, Washington claimed the NFC East title and a postseason matchup against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
To be able to sit at this table right now, knowing that we won the NFC East, and a lot of people have counted us out all year. You know, we always said the whole year, man, that it didn't matter. Nobody else mattered but the people in the building. And we truly believed that. We believed in ourselves. We believed in our young players. We believed in our defense. We believed in everybody in the building. And we came out and got it done.
That was a lot of my motivation. Alex, Coach Rivera, RK, you know, guys that just haven't been to the playoffs in a while, man. And, you know, Sheriff, and they're here, you know what I'm saying? We made it to the Alls, man. And you know, the thing I love about those guys is that, you know, they know we're not finished. The whole team knows, you know, we on go time. We still on go. So just know that we are not slowing down. That's our mentality in the locker room.
It feels great a year later, seeing how far we've come with pretty much, you know, the same nucleus of guys with some great additions in the offseason. And, you know, I like where we're heading. You know, it's not a complete celebration party because we got to get focused for Tampa Bay next week. But I felt like this was a great step in the right direction for us as a team and organization.
Washington takes on Tampa Bay next Saturday at home at FedEx Field. And another local team is heading to the playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens demolished the Bengals 38-3 yesterday to secure a playoff berth. They now take on the Tennessee Titans in round 1 of the postseason.
Just hats off to our running backs, making explosive plays, you know, and our offensive line just, you know, pushing guys around. Guys want to feed their family. We just got to keep that going. And, you know, sky's the limit for us.
Actually getting into the playoffs is a great accomplishment, and I'm glad I could experience that in my rookie year. But, you know, I'm the type of guy that wants more. I want to be great. I don't want to be mediocre. So, yeah, I'm glad to be in the playoffs, but I know the goal and I know why I was brought here. I'm just going to do everything I can to help this team win this first playoff game.
Just you got to take advantage of the opportunities. You never know, you know, when you're going to get them again. You know, you got to play like it's no tomorrow. So I feel like that's how we approaching it. And, you know, that's how we're going to continue to approach it going forward.
And the Ravens travel to Tennessee for next Sunday's matchup. Let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 32 degrees. Tuesday, mostly cloudy with isolated showers mid-morning. Daytime temps reach a high of 44 and a low around 31. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 46 and a low around 29. Thursday, mostly sunny again with a high near 44 and a low around 30 degrees. Now for your community calendar, bring in the new year encouraged and empowered. Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church joins First Baptist Church of Glen Arden for its annual joint New Year's revival. The virtual event starts this Wednesday, January 6th until the 9th at 7 p.m. Featured guests include Kirk Franklin, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Anthony Brown, and more. For more information, visit fbcglenarden.org. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30. Have a great evening.